Hi, it's Eric Feldman from CA Technologies, and I'd like to talk to you today about service catalogs. I've worked with many customers over the years, and for those that were service catalog greenfield environments, you know, the type that don't have any service catalog initiative planned, I've always heard a common theme. Customers want to begin the process of establishing their service catalog, but they don't know where to get started. Let's face it, to deploy a service catalog, you need to know both your offerings and how you deliver them to your users and customers. And if every service you offer is based on a help desk ticket, this can be especially challenging. So why should you deploy a service catalog? Well, obviously, it's a place to define and measure your services. But it's more than that. A service catalog becomes a vehicle to communicate the value that you, as an IT organization, bring to the business. You know that overused phrase, align IT to the business? Well, a service catalog becomes the focal point of actually running your IT organization as a business. And it goes beyond that. A service catalog can help change your perception of your organization to the business community by helping to position yourself as a strategic business partner and not just a reactive break-fix department. How? Well, it all begins with defining your services. What business are you in, for lack of a better term? So to answer that question, how do we begin? I created a simple method to start this process of defining your services. All you need to do is remember 4 letters, and they are D, F, A, and M. And these 4 letters stand for descriptive, financial, actionable, and measurable. Each one of them represents a definition element used as a building block to your overall service offering definition. So let's review each one. You will always start with at least one descriptive element. This is where you will describe what your service is in a way that's meaningful to the appropriate user community. For example, if you had a storage service, you might be tempted to define this as 1 terabyte serial attached SCSI storage system in a RAID 5 array. Now that may be fine to a technical user, but to a business user, will it make sense? You may be better off defining that storage service as reliable and secure data storage. Be sure to include in the description a high-level overview and any instructions for the request, approval, and fulfillment processes, and any service levels you need to communicate. Remember that you are looking not just to define your offerings, but also to set expectations for the delivery of the service to your user community. Next comes financial. Defining your services in financial terms can be the most challenging. For example, do you know your service costs? I don't mean just the total cost for a service, but the cost per individual unit of measure. For example, the cost of each mailbox for an email service. Most companies that I've worked with do not. And providing financial transparency to your business community requires that you determine your allocation methodology, such as a high-level or a low-level allocation or measured resource utilization, before you can communicate service consumption. Along with your allocation methodology, you will need to determine the appropriate usage metrics. For example, are you charging by head count, network jacks, or by a percentage of revenue? The actionable service definition element will require a bit of work. This is where you discover and document your request, approval, and fulfillment processes. For example, what happens when someone selects a service from a catalog? Does it require an approval? If so, what are the rules, and how is the approval routed? What about the exception steps and if an approver is not available? When it comes to delivering the service, what functional groups are required? This can be challenging to document and define, especially for a compound service with many touch points. For example, a service such as employee onboarding may require activities from IT, networking, security, and facilities. And if you ever want to automate that service, you will need to know these steps in detail. But right now, we're only concerned with the definition of your service actions, but keep this in mind. When it comes to actually deploying an automated service catalog, your capabilities will depend on the chosen tools and the resources available within IT. Our last service definition element is measurable. Basically, those metrics used to monitor service levels or for use within usage-based billing. First, let's think about your service level contracts. Do you provide assurance for a certain level of availability? What systems are included? How are those values instrumented and calculated? Remember that a metric such as availability may require calculation from a server, an application, a database, and a network host. Next, if you are planning on billing for your services or providing financial transparency, you must use a metric that is meaningful and appropriate to the business. For example, the car rental business uses two metrics when you rent a car, both a time metric, such as rental by day or week, and a distance metric, such as when you pay a per mile charge on a one-way rental. But no one in their right mind would ever rent a car based on average engine RPMs because it has nothing to do with the business of car rental. So that is the quick version of what you need to do to begin defining your services in a service catalog. To summarize, a service catalog becomes the focal point of actually running your IT organization as a business. And it can actually help you change the perception of your IT organization to the business community. Be sure to define your services in context of business requirements, and remember 4 letters, D, F, A, and M. And these stand for descriptive, financial, actionable, and measurable. Thanks for watching, everybody, and for more information about service catalogs, be sure to visit our website at ca.com/servicecatalog.